Hey guys, the word of the day today is surrender. As I was getting in bed last night at my family's house, I ran across this great book. It's John G. Lake and all of his teachings, compiled by Robert Liardon, and I want to show it to you here. Here's the book. If you want to get a copy of it, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's really thick. It's got all of John G. Lake's teachings in it. But as I was reading, I came across this part, and I want to read it to you. It's all about surrender. Now, I know in our American thinking, in our Western thinking, we have a little different hierarchy or different level of importance when it comes to God, family, ministry, and all those things. But this really struck me as I felt like it was from the Lord, just challenging me in my spirit as far as souls go and souls for the kingdom. But I want to read this to you really quick. This will be a little longer video, not too long, but I want to read this quick section to you. He says this: do you want to know why God poured out his spirit in South Africa like he did nowhere else in the world? There was a reason. He goes, we had 125 men out on the field at one time. We were a very young institution, not known in the world. And then he goes down and says, our finances got so low under the awful assault we were compelled to endure that there came a time I could not even mail to these workers at the end of the month a $10 bill. And then he keeps going. He says, some of us at headquarters sold our clothes, in some cases sold certain pieces of furniture out of the house, sold anything we could to bring these 125 workers off the field for a conference. So they gather for a conference, and then it says, one night in the progress of the conference, I was invited by the committee to leave the room. And then he said he left the room, and when he came back in, he found that they had rearranged the chairs in an oval. One of the guys says, Brother Lake, during your absence, we have come to a conclusion. We have made our decision. We want you to serve the Lord's Supper. We are going back to our fields. We are going back if we have to walk back. We are going back if we have to starve. We are going back if our wives die. We are going back if our children die. We are going back if we die ourselves. We have but one request. If we die, we want you to come and bury us. He says the next year I buried 12 men, 16 wives, and children. He says this is why the power of God fell so much in South Africa, and he saw miracles after miracles, healings after healings. Is because people were surrendered to the call. Now, I'm not saying that you have to leave your family or you have to take your family into harm's way. Don't hear what I'm not saying. But this really challenging me about surrender. Am I fully surrendered to the call of God in my life? Am I fully surrendered to see souls come into the kingdom? Here in America, we don't suffer a lot of physical persecution. We may have somebody call us a bad name every now and then, but we have it pretty good here in America. But many places around the world, people are dying because of their faith. People are being persecuted, physically beaten, stoned, all those kinds of things. They're being torn up, for their faith. And so we don't have that here, and we're blessed in America to do that. But it's still challenging. Are you surrendered? Are you fully surrendered to the call of God on your life? Are you fully surrendered to seeing people come into the kingdom, seeing souls snatched out of the hands of the enemy and placed into the kingdom of God? And that's what I want for my life. I want to be fully surrendered to him and his call, and to see people come to the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ, no matter what that may cost, no matter what it may cost me here. Maybe if God tells me to go somewhere else, across the nation, or across the country, or across the world, I want to be fully surrendered and open to hear from God so that people can hear about Jesus. And I ask you today, are you fully surrendered to the call of God on your life?